Hey everyone, it's Matt. I'm doing a live stream to go over my post analysis and reaction to AEW Forbidden Door. Don't While the event was 5.5 hours, I ain't gonna be here 5.5 hours. So just to keep that in mind. So what is Forbidden Door? It's basically a crossover pay-per-view between AEW, AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling or IWGP Wrestling, and CMLL, which is a Mexican Lucha Libre Federation. Now, this is the type of wrestling event where you want to have like a big all day party for it, right? You have it on the big screen and you watch some of the cool matches. If there's like 10 people there, maybe some interested in the match, and you go inside and play a video game. Well, so it's like that's the type of thing it is. Not every match can interest every person, right? Second thing to comment about is WWE is overall the best federation, right? The one thing AEW, generally speaking, has going for it is the match quality itself and the quality of the bulk of the matches. So, like, for every 10 WWE matches versus every 10 AEW matches versus 10 Impact versus 10 whatever, a higher percentage of AEW matches will usually be good to great quality, whereas WWE has a lot of the standards. So it's still, Triple H is changing it. They still have a lot of the standard sort of bodybuilder, bodybuilder type matches and stuff like that, where they do the same 6 moves over and over again. So that's the preface for this. So overall, the event I would rate it a positive on a scale of 1 to 10, like an 8 or 9. And I will say so, but I do have some significant criticisms, right? So right now I have the preview up there, the free hour and a half pre-show, which has 5 matches, right? So it starts out okay. They have Kyle Fletcher defeating Serpentico in a very short squash match, and this makes sense because Kyle Fletcher is, he's a champion. ROH, New Japan's been a champion in both, and he's lost 2 big matches recently. So you want to get him over strong and give him a guy who won't get hurt by losing a squash match, which is Serpentico. Okay, so and entertaining match, but quick and to the point, right? So, and this match certainly deserved to be on the pre-show. Then there was a generic 4-way tag match between Kings of the Black Throne, which is House of Black minus the third guy. Then Tamina Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong and Gabe Kidd from the Undisputed, and Private Party. In terms of the 4 teams, Private Party looked the best in the match. They had some of the best spots. They had some of the best flow to it, in terms of timing and all. I had a feeling that Tamina Ishii, this wasn't his type of match. He's looks like he's a wrestler like Taz, and I think I've only seen him once before. I don't get to see a lot of New Japan, but like he wants his suplexes, short-term power moves, look tough, and and this is more of a match. This is a spot match where you get a lot of like high flies and things like that, and guys trading blows and knock each other out, and a lot of action. And the match was that. It was certainly an okay match. It's just I don't like it when they put non-storyline matches. But then again, this is the pre-show. It's there to warm the crowd up. You don't have to watch it. So entertaining match, fine. And the Kings of the Black Throne won it, giving them a needed victory, right? Okay. Now, the next 3 matches are where I have a problem, okay? Because on the main show, for unknown reasons, where is it? Zack Sabre versus Orange Cassidy was your 6th to last match, and it was a pointless, like, no one cared. Orange Cassidy is a character in need of like a revamp or storyline. Yeah, he's cool. He's interesting in the ring stuff, but I'm just done with his gimmick. he needs to be less laid back, or or better storyline. Which is the criticize of AEW in general. Their long term storylines kind of suck. But that Zack Sabre Orange Cassidy match should have been on the pre-show, and then any of these three. There's Will Nightingale and Tam Nakano versus Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe, which basically means, if I understand it, like peach hot sauce is like Momo Watanabe would be in English. Then the gorgeous Mariah May versus the almost as gorgeous Saraya, and then the final pre-show was the Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus Los Ignobles de Japón. So any of those three matches would have been far more entertaining than Zack Sabre versus Iron Cassidy. For the reason that Will Nightingale is really good in the ring, and this showed her talent off. Mariah May, I mean, she's really good in the ring, and Saraya is really good in the ring. And Mariah, I hate to be a dog about this, but I got a middle-aged man crush. So like Mariah May is like hot, she has the best legs in Stacy Keibler. But that match was far more entertaining than Zack Sabre and Orange Cassidy. And then the match of really probably the best case to be on the main card in place of Zack Sabre was Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus Ignobles de Japón. In fact, I might have opened with that one, right? Because it had a lot of action. It would have got the crowd into it. And it had that slow-paced garbage. I mean, I could see Zack Sabre closing out the pre-show as far as it's a slower match. It would have got the crowd calmed down to settle in. That would have made more sense. Okay. So, in any case, as to the three matches, Will Nightingale and Tam Nakano win it. It was a good match. Had some, not a great match. It was a good match. Mariah May versus Saraya, that was a really good match. Okay. Had nice storyline implications for the later match when Mina Shirakawa comes out to like rival congratulate Mariah May. Interestingly, and I'll talk about that later. And then I love this Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus Los Ignobles de Japón match, which is basically I loved it. Ray Phoenix, I believe, won with a submission over. Mystico won with a submission over I think Titan. Yeah. In any case, that match was really good. So that's your pre-show. I'm not going to go crazy about it. So all those matches were show-off matches. Very little had storyline stuff. So there we go. Now on to our mainstream matches. Now, so we open up with MJF versus Hechicero, and on its face, this match was itself excellent. Okay, there was no botches, nothing. MJF, even though I haven't wrestled in a while, well, he had to get one TV show. He had just come back within the last month. He's in excellent shape. He showed the ring, showed the mic, blah blah blah. Right, and Hechicero looked good as well. So both wrestlers look strong, and this set up MJF for a strong run as he won. And because MJF is a natural heel, but because this was his hometown, he was getting cheered from the beginning. There was nothing he could do to heal it up, and they went with that. Hechicero played the heel, even though MJF would have been the natural heel. Great, good, fine opening match. Happy with that. Then we had the Elite, which is Young Guns and Okada versus Scissor Race, and the Elite won. The pre-match promo I enjoyed. I mean, they literally had some biblical, a Book of Revelations language, hyping the Elite being the Antichrist, right? Okay. The Acclaimed had the opening battle rap, which was pretty good, one of the better ones I've ever heard, right? And the question you get with this match is the quality of the match. Now, none of these guys, it wasn't a bad match, but I felt that, I watched the first time I watched it, I was entertained, thought it was a really good match, and then had some questions. And I kind of watched parts of it again. I realized I think these guys were treated like an early in the card match and were just not going through the motions. They put on a good show, but weren't trying to do something spectacular. And that's part by design. You don't want your early matches outshining your later ones. But if you're not, I mean, there should have been a later match where they would have just went all out. I don't know. It almost, and again, the storyline here doesn't feel like it was important enough to be on the main card, but whatever. So, but again, 2 for 2 as far as at least having good matches, minimally good matches, minimally 7 out of 10s, right? So then we have Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi, the American Dragon versus the Dragon of New Japan. Danielson wins, of course. The top, the previous matches kind of set up the tone for this match, and now this is Bryan Danielson on his last full-time run as a wrestler. He's gonna be a part-timer type of. He said that in the real world, so I think we're going to see him book strong. I think we'll see him winning an AEW title probably this sometime by the end of the summer, and then having a run for his end of his main career as an AEW champion. Okay. And this match also very well encapsulated the crossover nature of this event between New Japan and AEW, and of course CML, but New Japan and AEW are the headliner, so to speak. And there's a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament. So there's a lot of good stuff a lot of good spots to enjoy in this match. Let me grab stills of it so we can maybe chit chat over it. Okay. Again, these two wrestlers both sold very well. These are two veteran wrestlers who know what they're doing. Let me put the thing back on so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Here we go. Oh, they did a lot of submission and counter submission. One of the themes tonight was counter wrestling. Most of the matches are good counter wrestling. I really enjoyed. This one especially had it because the two guys were known as wrestlers. They build Takagi as the powerhouse of the two, even though they're both about the same. And at the end of it, they did a hug it out. So this match did well. My only gripe would be, I understand for this type of pay-per-view, you're going to hear this for later matches as well. Because it's a crossover event, it's tough to have a really good big storylines going into this. But because you constantly see AEW like CMLL and New Japan guys in AEW for lengthy runs, I think Takagi could have maybe come over for a month or two and had something of a rival with Daniels to make this the headliner match. Okay? That being said, I'd say 9 out of 10 type match. Okay? Now we get to one of my favorite matches, which is Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa, and with the gorgeous Mariah May in her corner. Look at, oh my gosh, she's insanely gorgeous. She has the best legs since Stacy Keibler, not that any other women there in that ring aren't also awesome looking. Toni Storm, obviously the big derriere and all that. And I admit, so I'm much of a horn dog as I am, and for those who complain about that, these women, men and women wrestlers dress a lot of the way they do. They're selling their physical appeal as part of their act. So if you're not noticing it, something's wrong with you, But I don't like Timeless Toni Storm's gimmick in terms of the superstar and all that, but I do love her in the ring. She is an excellent wrestler, excellent in-ring performer. She really sells her moves when, she looks like she hits them and she's really hurting you, but it looks like she's also doing it safely, which is a thing, So, and this is some nice work by them. So you had they were working Mira Mina Shirakawa was working the leg and constantly working that knee to weaken timeless Tony Storm, and Tony sold the knee injury for the whole match. You can see and one cool thing is now this is bad camera work in a sense, but good. No, there's no other option. When the people in the background sell, like you see Mariah May selling, you see the bodyguard back there selling, but the moron sitting in a chair is sitting there like a lump. They should tell him whatever you see action going on, you could be on camera, like try to react to it, a little, so don't look bored. So that's a mistake there. Okay. And I can't play it because I'll get copyright struck. But I mean, look, he has a good facial expression, showing he's selling the match. And of course, I'm not going to show this, obviously, but at the end of this, they become a threesome. And it appears that Mariah May becomes a new center of power in the threesome, bringing together her mother-like slash figure in some respect and her girlfriend slash figure. And yeah. That is the moment. That moment memed the internet. And of course, now we get to the garbage match. No one cares. I mean, I guess this is a New Japan match, and maybe because I don't see the New Japan maybe in New Japan there's some storyline that makes this relevant. Okay, I mean, it would be nice if we knew some idea of it, but as I've called these a bathroom break matches, I mean, the in-ring wrestling was good, but and the crowd popped at particular spots. But just as I also began to notice that outside of like the crowd there was like the crowd wasn't consistently into the event. When they liked the wrestlers or hated the heels in a match, like when MJF was out there, they were crazy into it. Daniel Bryan, they were crazy into. So and they love booing the Elite, for example. But there was no consistency of the crowd. They would just react to pops or to particular wrestlers. So that's something that AEW needs to work on, get more crowd enthusiasm. And a match like this does not help because the crowd did not care. They were bored by it, right? So there's that. Now I will say the finisher to this match was something I had never seen before. I'm sure it happened, and I'm shocked that a male wrestler could be in this particular hold. Let's see if I can find it. But there was a lot of counter wrestling. Like I said, that was good. Zack Sabre won, by the way. Here it comes. I'm surprised that you could put a male wrestler in this hold and not break something. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. He has a double arm bar and it like pretzel. This is like what Paige does to female wrestlers. You have to have a male wrestler have to be a yoga practitioner to like not break something in this. So it had a great finisher, wasted on a garbage match. Now the funnest match of the night, and this is because Chris Jericho is a master of making heels. Okay, well, I see someone else is watching, but I don't have a name. Thank you for popping in. I'm going over my AEW New Japan Forbidden Door post analysis. So the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho has created another gimmick, another great heel gimmick. I love it. He has Big Bill, a big cast in a good position. Oh, we got a third person. Welcome, whoever's listening, welcome. So, got the Learning, like I said, the Learning Tree. This is going to give some nice heel heat to all the members of it. And I think the ultimate goal here is to have Big Bill come out of this strong. In other words, eventually Jericho is going to turn. Jericho always turns on whoever he allies with, whether he's a face or a heel, right? That's granted. So, uh, I think the goal here is to give a push to Big Bill here, who is legitimately athletic, good wrestler, safe worker, has decent mic skills. He's a guy who has the body and the charisma and the mic skills and wrestling skills to be a productive guy in your company for the next 10 years, right? So giving him the push from Jericho, backing him, that could be worth it in my view. So now Team Samoa Joe wins. I like the Samoa Joe alliance with Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. They're very similar type of wrestlers, so it's like team submission machine type of thing. Okay, so and the storyline is that the Team Samoa Joe is going to keep going on to other things, right? Whereas the Learning Tree, like this is the end of the feud, and the Learning Tree is going to they're both go somewhere else, but Team Samoa Joe is building back towards eventually Hook coming back to try to take the title from Jericho, I think. But the FTW title, but I think that's 3 or 4 months out on the line. I would have Samoa Joe heel turn on Hook, and then he get the FTW title, put some real heat on it because Joe will heat on the title, then have Hook go after Joe and win the title. That's how I would do it personally, but whatever. Good overall, again, good quality match. And would have gotten you back warmed up after the subpar Zack Sabre, well, not subpar match, but pointless match. Like there was no feel for it. And so now we go on to our crazy match, the match between for the TNT. It's TNT Championship ladder match. Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, El Fantasmo. All 6 of these guys did real good work in this match. Okay. Mark Briscoe, if I could find them, I'll see if I could, I can't find. I'm not going to go crazy trying to find them, but Mark Briscoe hits 2 spots in this match that are insane. One where that's just after Jack Perry won. So there's Briscoe. I think this is going to be it. Not quite. That's Jack Perry winning. Yeah, it's tough to find them, but there's some nice spots in here. This is a top level ladder match, and Jack Perry, who's part of the Elite, wins the title. So now the Elite everyone in the Elite has titles. They're the Elite and whatever. Fine, but now they got to start dropping those titles. They put the heel on, they got to drop them. Okay, now we go on to our next match, and I admit, I'm again me a bit of horn dog. This is Stephanie Vacour versus what's the name of Vacour's intro here? Versus Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks. These are 2 gorgeous, attractive women, right? So get that in mind. Now, I learned later after watching this, because I had questions about how Moné was handling this match professionally, meaning not like the kayfabe part of it, but I learned later that Moné specifically wanted to get Vacour over with the crowd, meaning make her look strong and not just, so I think that's why Moné looked like she was struggling in this match. She was trying to make it look like Vacour is bringing it all on. Obviously, Moné wins this match. It's an AEW match. It's pushing her, so to speak. she's going to get she got the career push, but Stephanie Vacour, I think this got her. This is another step of getting her over with the AEW crowd, and she is talented. Okay, I would say right now, she's probably in the top 15, if not top 10 women wrestlers that I've seen, and of the ones I've seen. Okay, and I will admit, from a horn dog point of view, she has like a move. I can find it. I'll show it to you. It's uh, uh, I don't even want to. Basically, she kind of mounts she turns the wrestler face down while she's mounting their shoulders, and then pelvic humps their face into the mat. And it looks like she's basically crushing their skull against the ground. And I mean, obviously, it's a sexual looking move, but like if you really did that to someone like on concrete, you would kill them. So it's a move that has both the physical appeal and looks insanely real. Obviously she has the cool. A lot of athleticism. You can see these two had a lot of good. These two had some good counter wrestling. Not as much because, and I wasn't sure if Monet was. Uh, Monet is not a great high speed wrestler. She's really good in bursts and in slower matches. And Vacour is used to lucha style matches, which are all high paced. So, like the best of Stephanie Vacour is going to come in a match with Thunder Rosa. Okay, so, like when you two women who are used to lucha can go full tilt at it. The problem is I think they're both heels, and I'd rather have them use up their match this year. I'd rather have that wait for a while. Yeah. See a little counter wrestling. It's really works out nice. The two women work well together. So again, high quality match. I'd say 7 out of 10. Only because again, not a lot of story to lead into this, and I think they have to accept that Mercedes Monet, the crowd is turning on her a bit, so I think they have to go full heel with her to build her character. And she's a natural heel, by the way. She's much better being a pure heel than than like a snarky good guy type of thing. So there you go. And of course, we at the end we get the next rivalry, which is Britt Baker comes back. If you want to find a cool interview, I haven't watched it yet, but I heard Britt Baker literally had a stroke and recovered from a stroke and went back to the ring. And so that's the next rivalry for Monet. Now, I personally don't know if I would go there right now with it. Sometimes I just feel a storyline gets run. Monet gets the New Japan Strong Women's title, and of course, she has the TBS Championship Women's title. And you see a lot of the crowd booing and stuff. They really need to let her go heel to sort of get the crowd back in as the heel heat and all that. Like there's a bunch of people in the crowd who like her, but the problem is that's getting gradually overwhelmed by those who don't like her as a face. Anyway, because there's that. Now we get to the match, the two best matches. If I had to rate the best matches so far of the night, I would say there's the pre-show match, which was the Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus Los Ignobles Japón, right? That's one. That one, MJF versus Hachero, and then these two matches, which are John Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito and Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. The difference between Moxley and Naito is this, and this is what comes from not watching. Like we don't see. I don't watch New Japan. I don't have access to it. So in AEW, John Moxley is like a dark good guy. He's a good guy with anger issues, like Stone Cold when he's right. So he doesn't heal it up with the crowd. Apparently in New Japan he's a heel. And when John Moxley comes out in his New Japan gear to his New Japan music, which is dark and menacing, and starts yelling at the crowd and things like that, the crowd doesn't know how to react. Was there to the AEW crowd? He's a face. So if you're gonna do this match, you got to come up with a better way to do this, because the crowd did not really get into the match the way they should have with these two guys being there. Okay, so that's a legit criticism. The quality of the match was nice. A lot of nice, like theatrics to set the tone. Naito irritating Moxley with his antics. Moxley counter-mocking him. Good counter wrestling by the two of them. It was a slow-paced and methodical with bursts. And then they did the same thing in this match they did in the next one, though, with a close count where, the ref could arguably have called the third one but didn't, making it seem like the other guy could have won. I don't like when they do that in matches like this, but I'll talk more in the Swerve Strickland match. Moxley, if this were a pure AEW card, would not have lost this match. I think he had to mute because of the New Japan storyline, not the AEW storyline. Now, the match I enjoyed, leaving aside my love of beautiful women, okay, the match I enjoyed the most, and they almost ruined it, okay, so I'll say what almost ruined it before I talk about the good parts of the match. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay, okay? Now, they almost ruined it because near the end, they knocked out the ref, and then Ospreay pinned Swerve for a 5 or 6 count, and had a ref been there, Swerve could argue to have lost, right? And then Don Callis comes out and wants Will Ospreay to go full heel and tries to get him a screwdriver so he can hit him with a screwdriver, and then like an actual screwdriver, like you screws him with. And then then Swerve's manager fights him off, blah, blah, blah. The part with Don Callis, that's fine. But the thing where you put in where Ospreay could have won it if the ref had been conscious, you can't. You taint the victory of the match. All the work the wrestlers did in the ring, all of it. And that's which not only got Will Ospreay over, both wrestlers got over. They both looked strong, right? And Swerve looked even better. They built up Swerve because I did not think Swerve could go with Ospreay the way he did in this match. Yeah, Ospreay can do a little more in the high flyer stuff, but Swerve was hitting moves I did not expect Swerve to hit. He was being Ospreay level agile, and it really elevated Swerve as a champion. Okay, the crowd was popping for him all night. I mean, it popped for Will, but Swerve has the momentum here, and we haven't seen Swerve this athletic in AEW in a long time, if at all. Okay, and there was also great counter wrestling in here, which I always love. Right, so and Swerve went over strong, except they put the taint on it with that stupid, like knock the ref out, give Ospreay the count. There was no need to do that, okay? This was a champ versus champ for the top belt. The guys looked strong, and they had a peaceful ending to it, Let's see if I could catch any cool stuff. One thing, by the way, another thing that, because of AEW's shoddy camera work, I shouldn't say AEW, it's all pro wrestling shoddy camera work lately. They struggle to not you want the camera work to help the TV audience not see the other wrestler like positioning himself just right to catch the other dude. So you want the camera at an angle where you can't see that. They did a real good job on this match, not showing Swerve or Will moving on the mat, so the impact point for the high flying is the right spot or whatever. The camera work was really good in this match for the most part. And see how look at this work right here. Swerve doing that sort of stuff is not something you normally see. The level of athleticism, it was really great stuff. This was a cool spot. And I like how they showed that Will Ospreay had nothing left, and Swerve, the champ, does the finishing work. And Swerve is saying, "Yo, I got to finish this, son." And they had to hug it out at the end. The two friends, the business is over. And the two friends reunion. So that was really good. So again, that's to me that match as a 9.5 out of 10 would have been a 10 for 10 and a match of the year candidate, which it could still be depending on what's out there, if they didn't do that stupid knock the ref out, and have Ospreay look like he could have won it if the ref had been conscious. I can't stand when they do that in general, but it does serve a storyline purpose at times, right? So there's my thoughts on Forbidden Door. What else to say about it? I said everything I want to say about it. I will have tomorrow. I'll drop my I'll do a little live stream for my I believe for I believe Money in the Bank is this weekend. Money in the Bank 2024. Money in the Bank is Saturday. So today, Friday, I will do my picks for it. I was on Ryan Legion Talk and Joker's Voice channel. I'm a regular on that show, and I talked around picks for it on that as well. But I'll do my in-depth analysis of that, And then, there's TNA. I think TNA has a list of TNA pay-per-views. June 19th, air June 27th. 2024. Okay, so premium live events. Oh, fuck. Okay, so the Slammiversary is in 2 weeks, so don't worry about it. So I just have to do a video for WWE Money in the Bank, and I will do it tomorrow. Okay, any questions? There's no one listening right now. If you have any questions about this later about wrestling, feel free to drop me a comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed my thoughts on it. Thank you all. Bye-bye.